Hey guys, Chaotic Mike here, and what I wanted to do, and I've been wanting to do for a long time, is do some more videos, and I finally decided which direction I want to take those, and what that is I want to do more instructional and experiences, because I want to help others, especially other artists that aren't quite to my level yet. My level is, I don't know, somewhere on the middle bottom is what I would say. Right now, I'm grossing about $16,000 in art sales a year, which pretty cool to get to that level. So I want to help you get to where I'm at and hopefully pass me pretty quick. Art is very important. It's not a competition, and I think the more we band together and inspire others to collect art again and be nicer and just enjoy life more. It's end of July 2020. Coronavirus is still a thing in the news and stuff, and that's not what we're going to get into. But what I want to do is help others create a positive outlet. So if you've been hoarding art supplies, or you're just getting going, just started your Facebook page or Instagram page, and you're starting to put yourself out there, hey, you're in the right place. You want to learn abstract art and some of the techniques, you're in the right place. Again, I'm Chaotic Mike. Instagram handle is at Chaotic Studio. I don't have a fancy intro. I don't have music. This is just raw information. And today, what I want to talk about is how to keep forward momentum. And I'm going to switch the screen. So, at my level, I have a designated studio. It is a disaster right now, and it usually is. So what I want to talk about is strategy. So you're just starting out. Maybe you got a couple sales, some relatives, some friends, and you're gaining some traction. And you're like, how do I get to the next level? Well, there's a lot of different things and a lot of different topics, and hopefully I can start getting to all those things and make sure any questions or topics you want me to hit in the next video, drop in the comments below. And just, well, I mean, it's not really something yet, but I am starting to do artist consulting. So if you need some one-on-one time for me to look at your stuff, some insights, bounce some ideas around, hit me up and we can talk about pricing and different ways to help you. So, but one thing today, especially, is talking about strategy. And so if you're an abstract artist or you love abstract and you want to get to that next step, well, you're not sure how to price your work, or you just got a couple sales and you're excited, you're hopeful, you're not jaded and dark yet, which is great. Keep up that positivity. Don't get to that. What I want to talk about is basically how do we keep forward momentum, and how do we price, and how do we think about those things. A lot of our friends, family members, even people that we barely even know kind of want something for free. And because we love what we do, we sometimes agree to that, or we discredit our value because we're excited, we're flattered, we want to help people, whatever the case may be. So that's up to you. I mean, honestly, if we're banding together, us as artists, and taking a stand, there has to be some common core guidelines as to how to price your artwork And I'm just going to talk about some of the expenses and how you can figure that out for yourself. So for me, I have this studio space and my rent is only $200 a month, which is pretty manageable. But it is just a designated workroom. It isn't a open gallery to the public. So I am paying just for workspace. So for me, I need to justify that workspace by making X amount of potential new pieces to hopefully sell to collectors to pay for this space so it doesn't come out of my personal bank account from my day job. Yes, I still work full time, and I need that because I need outside stimulus to inspire what I do. But one thing that I wanted to cover in this video especially is how do we capitalize on our time in the studio. So for me, what I do is I usually get a couple projects going at once. And so what you'll see here today is my 12 by 36 canvases have been getting a lot of interest. And I still had a few of those left. And so what I did was I planned my big project, and then I have my supplemental pieces. So I have a small 8 by 8, and then this I believe is a 11 by 14. So I have my big piece, which will hopefully sell for in the $300 range, depending on how this dries and how cool it turns out and what the market is currently doing. But that piece is probably, most likely, either A, not going to sell right away, and I'll be sitting on it for a while. So I need forward momentum. So I have my smaller options here. And the odds of these selling are better because they're more affordable. So they start to meet in the middle of the people that want us to do stuff for free. It's like, well, no, I'm not free, but I can come up with cheaper options for my starting collectors. So maybe they've never collected original art before. Maybe they're still collecting movie posters, or they love live, laugh, love wood signs all over their house. Whatever. More power to them. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to inspire and do original art. We want to make a name for ourselves. We want a brand. We want recognition for our styles. Excuse me. So these two smaller pieces, let's see, I think the 11 by 14 I'd probably sell for in the 150 range. And then the little 8 by 8, hopefully I could get $60 for. Now with my supplies, $60 covers, a gallon of paint. So that is my forward progress. So hopefully that one would sell for $60. Some smaller or beginner collector is going to scoop that up, and I'm going to have more paint to do more projects. The $150 one hopefully would sell. Maybe I have to come down a little bit on my price depending on, if they're a beginning collector, or maybe they're a return buyer, or with one of my competitions they won a $20 credit, so I get $130 for it. Okay, great. So now I only have to come up with $70 for my studio. And this was one day in the studio. Now my dry time right now with the humidity is about 3 days. So I figure I can do roughly 10 sessions in a month. And my sales just haven't been there. You got coronavirus, a lot of uncertainty. The unemployment rate keeps going up. So a lot of people are just holding tight, even though, the unemployed are making more money than I am working full-time, and the big corporations keep getting more and more bailouts and emergency relief. So all these quote-unquote essential workers kind of get stuck treading water, basically. Whatever. Again, we're not going political, but that is a factor. The political climate and the socioeconomic climate of the world will definitely affect the market. So where I was, like 2018, when things were a lot better, this kind of canvas probably would have been in the $350 range. And as a rule of thumb, you're not really supposed to come down in your prices, because then collectors, as you build collectors, will start to get upset as to why they had to pay more for earlier work when someone else has to pay less for newer and essentially better work, because as you do more, the better you get. So I do a lot of paint pouring. I love it. I know it gets a bad rap as far as how quote unquote easy it is, but it is very relaxing and a lot of fun, and I love all the combinations. But what I've been doing is now I am moving towards a paint pouring wall sculpture. And so I am taking construction scraps and painting them in my style that I like, the paint pouring usually. And then I am assembling them to get a wall sculpture painting. I have an example over here of that. So we've got composition, dimension, depth. It's now 3D instead of 2D. It is essentially a couple steps above a beginner. And then I also have other projects like the garden series, which is weatherproof and good for the garden. So yeah, as you're thinking about your pricing, make sure you're considering not only your time, but all your materials. So your gas to go get supplies, the actual supplies themselves. And hey, if you used a coupon, great, but that should be more profit in your pocket, not necessarily passed on to the collector. So yeah, we want to buy low, sell high. That is the way to make some money and actually do well in all this. And if we all kind of have that understanding, that concept, well, then we don't have to compete with other artists that are giving stuff away because they don't necessarily value their time. Then we just go back to competing with so-and-so's kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews that give them stuff to hang on their fridge and walls all the time. It's a very tough market. Nobody needs artwork. But when you are able to inspire someone to buy something that you made, there is literally no better feeling in the world. And that's why I continue forward. As frustrating as it gets, the further I go and try to get to the next level on my own. Again, this is just my ramblings of what I've learned, what I've seen, and it's my opinions. It doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean you're wrong. But I'm hoping that there was a little bit of value in this video, and I'm looking for suggestions for our next video. Definitely will be going over some actual techniques, because I learned by watching videos just like you're on here now. I am self-taught as a painter. In school, I always did 2D and drawing. I always was a drawer and a colorer, but always loved art. So hopefully this was helpful, and let me know. And I ask that in this world of all this negativity, if you don't have something nice to say, well, do it constructively, and let's try to be nice to each other because the world needs it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.